What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another Nintendo Switch and RPG news segment. We got a lot of big topics to go ahead and get into, and we're going to start off with something that you guys have been asking me a lot about, and that is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. What is going on with this game? Where is it at? And I want to do my best to kind of answer it in terms of what I know. So here's the deal with this game. There was a while ago where they did talk about how Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, it's going to get information soon. That soon never came about, and that was at the end of last year. So what's up with it now at this point? Well, it does seem like they're preparing for there to be an announcement, and potentially even more, after Final Fantasy 16 is completed, out there, talked about, discussed, and all of that. So it seems like they are waiting a little bit before they talk more about Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake and Dragon Quest 12. Those are the two things that I think I even discussed a little bit ago on our RPG news segment, that they are waiting for those. But I get this question pretty much almost every single day on stream and just weekly podcasts anywhere that I go. When it comes down to it, people are asking about this game. So it looks like we're gonna have to be a little bit more patient and wait for it. There are rumors of a big Nintendo Direct that could be happening soon as well. Some people pegged it as the 21st or next week as of the time that I'm recording this video, or this upcoming week. So we're gonna have to wait and see there. Maybe there's some revelations that we hear about that there when it comes to Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. But I'm excited because I think the game is going to be really good. They're taking their time with this one. It seems like they're going to put a lot into it, and this could be the biggest HD 2D game yet to date. I mean, Octopath Traveler 2, that's probably the biggest one that we've gotten so far, and that was a awesome game. It reviewed really well. It's starting to pick up in the sales. The Switch sales started to pick up once it got a discount down to about $39.99 to $45 or so. And I think that game is going to continue to do well throughout the summer, especially if it gets a couple more price drops here and there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest is a lot more popular than the Octopath Traveler franchise. So this should be the best-selling HD 2D game when it releases, but we still need confirmations of platforms. We still need a release date. We still need more information. Heck, we haven't even seen more than that initial debut trailer that they did show off, and it looked really good and polished. So it definitely seems like they are just holding on to it and kind of putting everything into Final Fantasy 16, and then later we could get some information on Dragon Quest 3 and then also Dragon Quest 12 as well, because that's going to be a big kind of a new style of game for the Dragon Quest franchise. So hopefully that answers some questions here, guys. There's always the possibility of there being a Dragon Quest presentation later in the year. They've done that before in the past, so I do think that's also possible as well. But we'll see what they have, because I think it's going to be pretty good once they do officially re-show it off. Now, let's go and get into some leaks here when it comes to new RPGs. So Star Ocean, the second story R, the logo was leaked by Square Enix themselves at a support center website. So could we be getting something coming up soon? Might fall in line with the potential Nintendo Direct. Let's get into this here. So a logo for the unannounced Star Ocean the Second Story remake or remaster titled Star Ocean the Second Story R has appeared via Square Enix's support center website. Now, Square Enix previously remastered the first Star Ocean game, Star Ocean First Departure, for the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch under the title Star Ocean First Departure R. So as you guys can see here, kind of falls in line with that as well. Now removed, these were previously accessible at the support NA Square Enix Japanese and English site, and you guys are seeing the logos before they were removed. Now, the image uploads for Square Enix's support center use a sequential numbering system where each new image upload is simply the next number up. As of posting, Star Ocean the Second Story R was the latest upload, and there was no additional leaks in the previous several hundred uploads. So very interesting when it comes to that. I mean, Star Ocean, when they did the remaster for the other game, it was really good. It was a solid title. It was nice priced. It did well on the Nintendo Switch from what I understand. So I can absolutely see them doing another remaster of the Star Ocean games, because we just got to be real here. Like, the most recent Star Ocean games haven't been incredible. You know, I think that some of these older ones are actually much better. And I think that Star Ocean really needs to take a look at what they want to do before they go into it. So I think that doing some remasters is pretty cool here. Get that out of the way. But I really think that they should kind of cut down on what they want to do with Star Ocean. I think they need a revamp when it comes to the art, the character models in the newer Star Ocean. Now, I don't want to turn this into a bashing session of the most recent Star Ocean games, but Star Ocean 5, Faithlessness Integrity, that game was a huge flop. Star Ocean, the Divine Force, that was an improvement over, but it's still not where it needs to be, and it still has not reached the heights of the old school Super Nintendo and the PS2 title. It's still not even there. So I think, and I hate to say it this type of way, but cutting out all the extra platforms, focusing in on what you want to do. I don't care if it's focusing in on just having it on PlayStation or just having it on the Nintendo Switch, but they really need to kind of just focus in and hone down on what they want to do for this game, and they need new 3D art. Like, they need to turn this more into a cell shaded type of game, or they need to just stop using that incredibly ugly, in my opinion, 3D art that they use for it. It's just not appealing, and I don't think Star Ocean the Divine Force did really well. I know Square Enix did state that it underperformed along with many other titles that they had last year, so I think it's time for a bit of a change. But in the meantime, give us some of these classic games, remaster them, because these ones are actually better than the newer ones. So we'll see what happens going forward for the Star Ocean franchise. But speaking of a franchise that's going forward, we do have some more information on Ys 10 Nordics, which is shaping up to be one of the better RPGs that's going to be released this year, at least in Japan. Could we be getting some localization news soon? So publisher Clouded Leopard Entertainment has released a brand new teaser video for the game that features English subtitles. So this is the first time that we're actually getting some English information when it comes to directly in the game. Now, up to this point, all the coverage has been in Japanese, so it looks like the English localization announcement is coming up soon. Once again, a lot of things are lining up with the potential Nintendo Direct here. Ys has always been more of a PlayStation franchise over the years, but since the Nintendo Switch came out and Falcom decided to start making games on the Switch, or getting Nippon Ichi or getting other people to help out with localization, things have shifted quite a bit to where now Ys and Falcom's other games are now selling a lot more on the Nintendo Switch, or selling much better on the Switch platform. So maybe it lines up there. Now, the description included below this teaser for Ys 10 Nordics is also in English, and it mentions the same September 28, 2023 release for the game in Japan. Now, whether that's just included as a direct translation of the Japanese information, which I do think that it is, or hint at a simultaneous worldwide release is unknown. At the very least, it does look like Ys 10 Nordics is a lock for localization, which I do think that that's going to be a thing. Now, I've already covered Ys 10 Nordics. If you want to know about the details of the battle system and about the combat and about the story, that's all been covered. I will have a link for you guys in the description, but I do want to talk about this because I don't think it's going to be a worldwide release, because Falcom doesn't do the worldwide releases and they haven't talked about that yet. I mean, it would be really cool if they were able to get a worldwide release, and that would be somewhat of a first for Falcom, or at least the Ys series. I know that they don't usually do that, but we can't, take anything from this. I think it's a direct translation in terms of what was being said in there. So once we actually get some more information on this game, because we know it's a lock for a Japanese release, they're getting it ready, they've been showing off more information, it looks really good, but we have to wait and see how the localization is going to go here and when that's going to happen. So I'm guessing it's going to be an early 2024 release, but maybe they got some help in order to get it localized sooner. Now, Falcom is one of the last holdouts that make the major AA RPGs out there that still don't have timely localizations. They're still way after the Japanese releases. We've got a lot of updates now from a lot of the AA RPGs like Atelier and those type of games, also Octopath, whatever the case is, and those all come out worldwide or very close, and Falcom's still lagging behind. So maybe this is a change, because people are really looking forward to Ys 10 Nordics. It's got a really cool hook to it. The doll is back and better than ever. You got a cool cross tag system that you got going there with the young lady that you're fighting with. So I do feel that it's time. It's time that somehow they can get this done. So we'll see how it works out. I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be a solid game. Of course, I'll be picking it up on Switch and PS5. And yeah, it's coming out later this year, September 28, 2023 in Japan. So maybe they can squeeze it in 2023. But speaking of squeezing something in soon, let's talk about Game Boy Advance. Nintendo Switch Online adding one of the best strategy RPGs of all time. Yes, sir. That is Fire Emblem on June 22nd. Out of nowhere, Roy's Papa is going to be coming to your Nintendo Switch very soon. So Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Switch Online will add Fire Emblem on June 22nd. Nintendo has announced. Now here's an overview of this game, because this game is awesome. This is a great strategy RPG just to pick up and play and have fun with. So featuring all the fierce tactical combat and rich intrigue-filled storytelling the series is known for, Fire Emblem was the first installment in the series to launch outside of Japan. Plus, It also marked the debut of the hero Lyn, who you may know as the emblem of blazing from Fire Emblem Engage, which I love this because there's so many characters from this franchise that people probably got to know for the first time in Fire Emblem Engage, and now you actually get to play through their game here, so that's awesome. Now in Fire Emblem, the nation of Lycia stands on the precipice of war after centuries of peace. Turmoil grows as noble houses plot treason, allies become enemies, and armies stand poised for combat, all while a mysterious figure manipulates empires from the shadows. Now Lyn, along with Eliwood and Hector, shoutouts to Eliwood, Roy's papa, must amass their own army to fight back against the forces that would destroy everything they hold dear, and before the world is burnt to ash. Over the course of the story, you'll gather heroes to your side, train them to excel with a wide array of weapons and classes, and further hone their skills on the battlefield. In battle, strategize your course of action around a variety of terrain and conditions, then take command of the field and lead your units to victory by fulfilling specific objectives. But be warned, in this Fire Emblem game, if your soldiers meet their end, they're gone forever. Yeah, remember guys, this is before the whole casual mode that Fire Emblem Awakening implemented, so if somebody does die in battle, man, you better restart if you want to have that character back, because there are situations to where if you lose too many, man, you probably just won't be able to beat the game. So, you know, I know that's the sucker's way out when people play Fire Emblem, but me, I'm not losing anybody. So if something happens, I'm restarting. I don't care. I'm not losing anybody. I'm beating the game with everybody intact. Now, in Japan, Fire Emblem, the Binding Blade will also be available. So Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Switch Online is available as part of the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership. You guys are seeing this really cool trailer as well. So this is awesome, man. This is really cool. I hope they bring over the other game too. I mean, that'd be also dope. I mean, I like the fact that they're starting to bring over some of these older Fire Emblem games, but we still have some unfinished business when it comes to Fire Emblem and the Nintendo Switch, because Fire Emblem 4, the remake, Gematsu the Holy War, that is still a thing, and I don't know when Nintendo's going to bring that out, but it seems like they are hell-bent on getting Fire Emblem out at specific times. So we got Fire Emblem at the beginning of the year, we're getting Fire Emblem right here in the middle of the year, so I'm guessing maybe Nintendo Direct, maybe something else, we get a Fire Emblem towards the end of the year, and that is Sigurd's game with Fire Emblem 4, Gematsu the Holy War. So let's hope that that's the case, because more Fire Emblem is always the move. Now, speaking of the move, Atelier Marie Remake, yeah, that's a good move too, because this game's actually looking pretty charming. So we've got some new details and information on the game. So publisher Koei Tecmo and developer Gust have released new screenshots for Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salzburg, which showcases the game's additional events, photo mode, mini games, and more. So let's talk about this, because this is a full ground up remake. I love when they do this, these AA RPGs getting this new content, and the first Atelier game. So that's also something like, you know, good to get some of these classic games remade so people can play them and not have to dig them out old school or emulator or whatever the case is, right? So we got additional events. So in Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salzburg, players are reintroduced to Marie, a struggling student at the Royal Academy of Magic, whose ultimate goal is to create an item within 5 years that will satisfy her teacher. This reimagined take on the classic title introduces freshly written events, additional events, for a completely new scenario where players will be able to learn intimate details about the characters that were not in the original story. So extra content added in, very good there. Now there's also a photo mode. In addition, Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salzburg, players can immortalize their cozy RPG adventure in the all-new photo mode. Here, they can play with poses and expressions of Marie and friends. Pictures taken can then be decorated with stamps and other items, while enabling players to head to the Hall of Memories to change filters, frames, and camera angles. Now there's also mini games. Also reworked for Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salzburg are 6 fun and exciting minigames remade for the latest platforms. Games include Puni Puni Hammer, Golden Salmon Search, Catch Those Rats, Apple Rush, Treasure Hunt, and Name Collector. Minigames can be accessed from the Extras menu, and succeeding in these minigames will reward players with valuable new items. So there's always a good hook. In order for me to play mini games in these RPGs, there better be a good reward for doing them, and it seems like they've worked that out here. Now, Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salzburg, is due out for the PS5, PS4, PC via Steam, and the Nintendo Switch on July 13th. New screenshots. Of course, we got new footage here. The game is looking really cool. It's got a sleek, chibi kind of style to it. Kind of reminds me of Bravely Default a little bit when it comes to it. So I think that it works well for this game because this was like a PS1 game, and the original game, obviously, it's PS1 graphics. So I think that this is probably the best way to bring it back and kind of retain some of that old school flair, but then also not break the bank either, because I don't think they're going to be able to make it look like Atelier Ryza or something like that. So this is good. This is awesome. I love when they do stuff like this. Bring on more of these classic RPGs that came out back in the day, remake them for Switch, PlayStation, PC, whatever the case is. So I'm very happy about that. And I think that it's going to be a really good game. I really do think it's going to be solid. So what do you guys think about all the different topics that we went over here? From Dragon Quest, a leak of Star Ocean, Fire Emblem, Ease, and more? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out some of our other videos right here on screen. Thanks for watching. Catch you for the next one. Peace.